For those of you who are joining us for the Alleem Excellence Night, it's going to be Thursday, please make note. Not Wednesday, it's going to be Thursday. So we need you to be there with a big smile on the face. You'll be recognized, some of you, so feel good. It's going to be a historical day in your life. Be happy with it. Let me start with this. Last night I was invited by a very close friend of mine to Ajman, one of the local authentic food chain. And it's just about 8:30 in the evening time. We're a gentleman whom I never knew. We are just sitting almost next to the glass side of the restaurant to enjoy the beautiful weather. And he started waving to me, looking at me eye to eye. So I started waving back to him. I never knew the man. He passed. 10 minutes later, he came with a big gift. It's full of chocolates, very different kind of chocolates. And he approached me and he said, "Sir, this is for you." So I stood up and I shook hands with him. I said, "I'm sorry, but you're really puzzling me here. What is this for and who are you, if you would, in a way?" And he said, "Sir, you don't know me, but I know you very well. You're Dr. Rashid Alleem, and I can never be mistaken about you." I said, "Well, thank you very much. I'm really happy, bummed with this note. Now, please tell me the story of the chocolate." He said, "You know, my father is always speaking highly about you. My father has a mid-sized company in Hamriya Free Zone where you used to lead and manage that business unit. Myself, I used to manage and lead that for almost 10 years, a decade earlier. And my father can never stop talking about you and the legacy you left and the way how you're treating the investors and other, and the way how you brought the company from 70 companies to over 6,000 companies during my term. So almost crossed 6,000 companies in 10 years' time. Wasn't an easy because they were representing 159 different countries. 159 countries to bring to a small base called Sharjah and Hamriya Free Zone, smaller size, in a very restricted area, is not an easy game. But that's it. Now, the motive, if you would, out of this story is what just happened last night. There's two things, and if you can go back home for the coming 3 days, of the two things I would tell you about, it is more than enough. First of all, is finding your call, finding a purpose, finding a meaning of what you do. So if you as a leader now, if you haven't found your voice, your calling, your purpose, what drives you to do, what drives you to wake up in the morning and do a good job, then you're not in the leadership page, please. Sorry. You have to improve and you have to find that calling, that deep inside you, the voice. That is number one, finding a meaning. What's the beauty of finding a meaning? You will never work for a paycheck. Every day is not a working day for you. Every day is an enjoyment day for you because you're not working for a money. Well, I'm be greatly mistaken and ridiculous if I say that we don't work for a money. This is ridiculous. Yes, we do work for the money, but they are not the prime mover, if you would, in a way. They become secondary when you have a passion because you wake up with the big things in mind that I'm going to create a difference. As Dr. Tariq said, it's not about any difference. That type of difference gives you self-satisfaction where you could see the world is different, totally different. Right? This is one. Second, a leadership, if you're not working for a legacy, to leave something great. Whenever there's a mistake in here, whenever we speak a legacy, people feel that legacy is when you pass away, when you say goodbye to the whole world and sits under the ground. This is a legacy. Well, this is part of it. A legacy you should enjoy while you're living up. A legacy you should enjoy like what happened with me, that you know that you're doing a great job, you're working for a meaning, and someone whom you never know, he said, "I can never mistake you. I can mistake the whole world, but not you as a Dr. Rashid." Because the way how you turn around things, I was a kid, because I started working for Hamriya back on 11th of March 2000, and I lived in 2014 almost, right? So that much time he was still in the school studying this, and he's helping his father now as a sales executive. See the difference. You can make a legacy you do and you keep. Now, what we've been trying to do for the last 11 years now, this is the 11th years we're doing. If we are not dreaming big, as Dr. Tariq said, dare to dream, dreaming big. Your mind eye is open, always waken. We have 2 eyes, but actually we have 3 eyes. There's 1 eye in the mind, and it's up to you as a leader to wake it up, to keep it open, to see different things than the world cannot see. And this is, as I said, when you start to have meaning, when you start to have a purpose, you start to see things differently than the rest of the people. You become the extra miler who can achieve more with less. And this is what we've been trying to do. It's not the technology. It's not about the AI intelligence. AI can give you everything except the human feelings and the heart. Can never do that. So we need that human. We want to go back to the basics. The humans who can make or break things around. A human has got a very strong talent. We wanted to go to the sky. Yes, we can reach the sky. Want to go to the moon, we start sitting on the moon. We want to have 1 flight, we have many flights now, right? Even those who were looked at Bedouins who've got nothing to do with this world, they're really backward thinking, they still were able to reach the moon and be part of the missions to the space and other. So the world is changing so rapid now, and whenever we speak about leadership, especially nowadays, the focus comes to the political leaders. Leave them alone, please. We don't want them. Leave them alone. Let us think of ourselves, the business leaders. Let us see how we can create a better world by working together. I keep saying the most peaceful language on earth is the language of business. If we really want to bring love, prosperity, and a better tomorrow, a brighter tomorrow, let's talk business. What brought us here under this one umbrella? Because we're on a business mission, and in business we value, we understand something called knowledge. Because we all agree here, knowledge is power. But I have another adding to this. I always say knowledge is power if applied and shared. It's not enough to have a knowledge, because there's a big difference between knowing and doing. And this is what we've been, again, trying to give and to share. It's not about acquiring a knowledge, but sharing that knowledge and applying that knowledge. Big difference between knowing and doing. We need you to respond to, not to act to. Please do respond to what's happening. You can never change the whole world. The whole world is too big to be changed. You can be focused, and change start within. Focus on yourself. Try to find the giant within you. The great personality within you who can help you out there, and who can change and who can bring a better tomorrow. So the change and a better tomorrow starts within you. And never underestimate the value of you. If you are not approving yourself, how can you approve the others? How can you approve the world? We have seen, again, back to Dr. Tariq, because thanks, Tariq, I always give comments after you. So you say the whole thing, and I keep commenting on you. When you spoke about the Swedish girl, Greta, and she's less than 14, and she was able to change the whole face of the world and meet the best and the big world leaders and say her words, and she's been inviting now in so many things. I just came last week from Japan, one of the good countries I love, and working with the people there for the last 20 years almost. And my first Arabic book written was about Japan, by the way, because the way I was dealing with them, how disciplined, how ethical, and a great country is, really made me to write a book about them. And that was my first book about 18 years back. And that was 18 years back when my first time went to Tokyo. And after 18 years back, then last week I was invited. And I'm happy to say that due to my commitment to the business language and the business relationship of UAE and Japan, I was invited by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. So this was a first official invitation from the ministry to anyone from Sharjah, at least. So I really felt good. That was a historical achievement in my life. Because of this, I was invited by the foreign ministry itself. And it was a very systematic great visit for almost 6 days, 6 solid days and on the ground, in the soil of Japan. Well, one of the things I am proud of that I was given a privilege to speak after the Holiness Popes from Roman as a foreign speaker in the Sofia University. Sofia University considered about 138 years old in Japan, one of the oldest authentic universities. I had the privilege to speak for almost 1.5 hours and had the chance to interact with the students and the faculties for almost the same time. So we spent almost 3 good hours in that university with my local address, the way I look in front of you now there, and share my inspiration, my dreams about sustainability and about the importance of living together, loving each other, and hugging each other for a better tomorrow. And the presentation was very well received because it was speaking about sustainable leadership, how we can really bring sustainability, which is my baby here. And as the foreign minister of Singapore said, sustainability is the next name of Dr. Rashid. So if you say sustainability, Rashid Alleem comes in my mind. So I felt good that, you know, whatever we've been investing over the years is never wasted. So there's always good people around, good people to see, good people to find out. So my advice to you, please, piece of advice, you're here for a reason, they're here for a cause, and there is at the corner of this room somewhere, there's a message is waiting for you. A message that you will be the one revealing the secret of that message. I strongly believe that when a group of people gather somewhere, there's a message waiting for every one of them. That message, it depends how open you are to the, what they call it, God, universe, the power of outside world, how open to that power, you receive a good message. That message may tell you that from today you need to start change the way how you preserve, how you see things, or a message says that, you know, you're strong enough to do this change. Or the message says, you know what, you need to network and connect with that person because he's the person who could really add value to what I do. So there's a session mid the program today called Brilliant Networker. Brilliant Networkers is a person among us here today, he or she, they're with us, but we don't know who. So far, we need to discover that. Is the one who would be going around, moving around, exchanging as much as he or she can with their business card and telling the world, you know what, I'm here, my name is so-and-so, and I can do this. And your job is to introduce service. So the maximum card collector, if we would in a way, but make sure that you don't repeat the card 25 times, yeah? Has to be 2 different names whenever you bring cards, even if you collect 2, right? So, and second, we have a real good visitors from overseas, from the region, speaker, they came all the way to share with you, as far as China, you could imagine. Up to that, we have a voice, and people are ready. We have people tomorrow morning coming, they're coming from Switzerland, and they're coming for this purpose only. So don't miss the opportunities. People from different parts, we have a great company, Saudi, they came all the way from Egypt this morning. Hisham and the team, thank you very much. You've been a big support for us. We have GQ, we have a lot of big local and regional and global names with us here. Riyadh Cables, you're around, right? Right? We have Mr. Ahmed came all the way from Abu Dhabi. So we have a lot of, Bassam is the president of Al Gharair University, and the list goes on and on. It will be difficult to keep listing everybody here. But I'm really excited to see almost the room is full with this beautiful morning startup, and the floor all yours. Remember, be very casual. We're not in a very official here. Feel casual, get in up anytime to answer your phone. You may go out, please, and to take a click, pictures, we don't mind at all, and feel free. But the idea is that you're here for a cause, for a knowledge, and try to seek the message waiting for you somewhere in this corner. And thank you very much. Thank you.